Above your intelligence, above your work ethic, you will be compensated in proportion to your risk. Pro tip, if you're afraid to take the risk, write down in excruciating detail what you're actually afraid of happening, step by step, what happens next when you fail. You'll often find it's not so bad when you spell it out. Fear exists in the vague, not the specific.
So risk comes in a handful of flavors. One is what we know we will give up, that we hope we will get something back from that's bigger. There's also we want something bigger, but we will pay a cost. So different ways of saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to be lose something good, get something bad. Mm-hmm. Are the things that risk presents for us. A different view on risk that I've been thinking a lot about is proportionality of risk. And at the most basic level, this is a lot of what, investing really is, which is there is always risk, but is the risk priced appropriately? And Peter Thiel had this commentary around Elon where if he had just had one of his 3 companies succeed, it would have already been a crazy win. But somehow he got all 3 of them to become, I guess now, multi-billion, trillion-dollar plus companies. And he said he must know something about risk that all of us don't understand. And I think there's something incredibly powerful about studying the person who's accumulated the most wealth in history, or at least in present day. And that man's understanding of risk is different. And it's probably a more accurate view of true risk rather than perceived risk. And he often talks about the downside of trying as hard as you can is basically nothing. If you're in the developed world, the likelihood that you starve to death is almost nothing. And there is free shelter if literally no one in your social construct would allow you to crash on a couch. And that assumes that during the day, you are incapable of working in any way that generates money, which there are many ways to generate money that do not require tremendous skill, at least today. And so the downside is nothing. And so that is why the risk of going after whatever it is that you want is mispriced by the vast majority of people, because they have this fear of the big thing that's good that's going to go away, or a big bad thing that's going to come as a result. But the big bad thing is nothing.